It looks like people may have finally figured out how Erika Kirk convinced Charlie that she was the perfect Christian trad wife. And believe it or not, the whole thing started because of one old photo that just won't disappear. At first, most people brushed it off as nothing more than an awkward throwback. But then people started comparing that image to the version of Erika she spent years showing to the conservative world. And suddenly the conversation became much bigger than anyone expected. Because this isn't only about an old party photo anymore. Many people now believe it points to a much bigger transformation that happened long before Charlie even knew her. As many of you already know, Erika has built her public image around faith, family, and traditional values. She's encouraged young women to put marriage ahead of careers and has often criticized what she describes as today's worldly culture, making the contrast stand out even more in the eyes of her critics. As soon as those older photos and video clips started popping up again, people began asking the same question right away. Was this a real personal change over time, or did she carefully reshape her public image into something Charlie would connect with? That's the debate many people started having online. The whole discussion exploded after one old photo suddenly resurfaced, spread across social media at lightning speed, and grabbed everyone's attention. People reposted the picture everywhere, often pairing it with the Slater lyric, "I get so gay off that tequila."
Very happy being a stay-at-home mom. There's nothing wrong with being a mother. There's actually more beautiful and emotional and powerful job title, if you will, being a mother. And for me, I experienced what it was like living in New York, living that boss babe culture. But when I met Charlie and we had our babies, I was in it.
Before long, the memes were everywhere and the internet ran with it. Many commenters said that if you didn't already know who Erika was, you probably wouldn't guess you were looking at the same woman who now regularly encourages young women to avoid what she describes as a worldly lifestyle. The contrast became a huge talking point across social media. In the photo, Erika is sitting in a car with full glam makeup, wearing a big fur coat, and giving off a vibe that many online said looks very different from the image she presents today. That's when people started saying, "Hold on a second." The contrast quickly became a major topic of conversation across social media. As many of you already know, Erika has recently been telling young women that chasing careers isn't the best path and that they should focus on becoming wives and mothers instead. She's also spent years saying that modern dating, partying, and always putting yourself first can pull women away from God. So when that older photo resurfaced, many people immediately began comparing her past image with the message she shares today, and the debate took off. Suddenly, people weren't even talking about the outfit anymore. Instead, the comments shifted to a different question. Many were asking, wait, wasn't this the same kind of lifestyle she's always warned other people about?
Oh,
Cheers, ladies.
cheers, everyone.
This is ridiculous.
I also
This
really
straw,
enjoy
too?
these straws.
Okay, that's good.
Beautiful blonde hair, her smile, her radiance. I can tell that she's got not only outward beauty, but inward beauty. And that's what I'm looking for in a woman.
So how do you two ladies know each other?
That question quickly spread across social media and sparked even more debate. Once that conversation took off, people started looking through older photos, videos, and public posts from Erika's life before she met Charlie. And that's when the discussion became even more intense. The reason so many people stayed focused on the story wasn't just because of one old party picture. Many felt there was a much bigger story behind how her public image had changed over the years. Long before Charlie was part of the picture, Erika had already spent years building a career in some of the most image-focused circles you can imagine. As many of you already know, she was crowned Miss Arizona in 2015 after competing in pageants for years.
I'm there thinking it's a business interview.
It started that way.
Right. So we sit down and you grill me for what, 3 hours?
Yeah.
Easily. On philosophy, politics,
Culture.
religion, culture,
Economics.
what else? Everything else you can imagine, he grilled me. Anything he talks about on his podcast show, he grilled me on.
That achievement opened the door to major opportunities and introduced her to well-known figures connected to the pageant world, including Donald Trump, who owned the Miss USA organization during that time. But her story didn't end with pageants. Erika also became recognized for her charitable work, traveling to Romania as well as other parts of Europe and Asia to support projects involving orphanages and other community efforts. By that point, she had already built an impressive resume with accomplishments across several different areas. But this is where the online discussion takes another turn, because many people believe the next chapter of her story looks very different from the public image she's known for today. Before she became widely known as Charlie Kirk's conservative Christian wife, Erika was also working to break into reality television. She auditioned for several reality shows and eventually appeared on season 3 of Summer House. That detail has caught the attention of many people online because it seems very different from the public image she's known for today. If you've ever watched Summer House, then you already know the atmosphere. The series follows young adults living together while navigating dating, social events, parties, and the kind of personal drama that Bravo has become well known for. That's why her appearance on the show has become another major talking point in the ongoing online debate. So when people watch those older clips today, they're not just noticing a different hairstyle or a different wardrobe anymore. Many say they're seeing someone whose lifestyle appears very different from the public image she later became known for, and that's what keeps the conversation going online.
What I will say is, when I lived out here, I was here for 5 years. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than going, I don't drink. I find it unproductive, not because I'm holier than whatever. I just don't operate that way.
Some commenters have pointed out that they believe those changes seem to happen around the time Charlie entered the picture, leading to even more speculation. That's where many people think the story takes another twist. Instead of seeing one consistent version of Erika over the years, they're arguing that her public image has changed in noticeable ways, and that idea has become a major part of the debate. First came the pageant world, then working in corporate settings and philanthropy. And not long after that, Erika became known as an emerging conservative voice.
That's not right. That's not true. Erika has been involved in pageants from the very beginning. Her mother is definitely the person who pushed that. I actually do believe that Erika loved basketball. There's no question she plays basketball. But this idea that she didn't want it is just not true. It's so objectively not true. Erika, without question, and anybody who's being objective and honest and looking at her history of the people that she dated and the people that she wanted to be in close proximity to, can guarantee to you that this girl wanted to be famous, like very badly wanted to be famous one way.
Looking back, many people online point to those different chapters and say her public image changed in noticeable ways over the years, which has only added to the ongoing discussion. That's also where Charlie enters the story, because many people say the way they met wasn't quite the random fairy tale some had imagined. As many of you already know, both Charlie and Erika have said they were introduced through Charlie's friend, Andrew Clavin. The introduction was reportedly arranged as a job interview, but according to their own accounts, it quickly grew into something much more personal. By the time Erika met Charlie, she was already familiar with who he was in conservative circles and understood that he had spoken publicly about wanting to get married and start a family. According to their public accounts, their relationship moved quickly, and within about a year, they were engaged and on the path to marriage. On the surface, plenty of people see that as two adults who simply knew what they wanted. But others online have looked at the fast timeline and started asking more questions. Some commenters have speculated that Erika had found the kind of life she wanted and moved toward it with clear intention, while others argue there's no evidence that anything about the relationship was anything other than genuine. Because of that, many people have debated whether their first meeting was simply a lucky coincidence or whether there was more planning behind it. Those questions have led to increasingly heated discussions across social media, and the comments have become much harsher. One person summed up their opinion by saying, if she would have just come out and said she has a past like we all do, this would be going completely different. The issue began with the blatant lies. That's the opinion you keep seeing repeated across social media. For many commenters, the debate isn't really about whether someone can change, because plenty of people believe personal growth is possible. Instead, some critics argue that Erika hasn't publicly addressed how her life evolved over the years, and they say that's why older photos continue to spark fresh discussions whenever they resurface. After Charlie passed away, the conversation became even more personal and much more intense. Many people began closely watching Erika's public appearances, the outfits she wore, and the interviews she gave. Some online felt she appeared ready to step into a more visible role connected to Charlie's legacy, while others disagreed with those interpretations. Either way, the public scrutiny increased dramatically, and every appearance quickly became a new topic of debate. One comment that gained a lot of attention read, Erika was giddy after Charlie's death because she finally had freedom from the boring trad wife role. The white suit at his memorial and those leather pants with J.D. Vance was on purpose. Erika Frensvei was back as boss babe. That quote reflects the opinion of one commenter, and it shows just how divided and skeptical parts of the online conversation have become. Now, speaking of questions people have raised, some online have started revisiting Erika's older interviews and comparing them with other publicly available information. As more clips and posts have resurfaced, commenters have tried to piece together a timeline, leading to even more debate about how much her public image has changed over the years. For example, one interview has drawn particular attention because some online claim it doesn't fully match other publicly discussed information about her dating history before meeting Charlie. Those comparisons have fueled more speculation, with critics questioning whether every part of the timeline has been presented consistently. Then there's the story of how she met Charlie. For a long time, Erika described it as something that unexpectedly happened while she was in Israel. But as more public interviews and accounts were compared online, many commenters argued that parts of that story didn't fully line up, and the discussion didn't end there. People have also revisited Erika's comments about pageantry and the glamorous lifestyle, where she suggested those things were never truly what she wanted. Candace Owens publicly challenged that version of events, arguing that Erika had spent years actively pursuing those opportunities before becoming involved in conservative politics. That disagreement added another layer to an already heated online debate and gave critics even more to talk about. And that's why so many people say this story isn't really about one old photo or one interview anymore. It's about whether Erika's public image has stayed consistent over the years. Supporters argue that people grow, their priorities change, and their beliefs can genuinely evolve over time. Critics, on the other hand, say the biggest issue isn't change itself, it's whether the full story has been presented openly. That's what keeps this debate alive every time another clip or interview resurfaces. People compare older statements with newer ones, searching for anything they believe doesn't match. Every new post sparks another wave of reactions, with some defending Erika and others questioning the timeline even more. At this point, the discussion has become less about her past and more about whether the public feels they can trust the story being told. Then there's another detail that keeps coming up whenever this topic starts trending again. People online have been comparing Erika's older public appearances with her more recent interviews, looking for changes in how she talks about her life, career, and priorities. To some viewers, those differences simply reflect someone who has grown over time. To others, they raise more questions about how her public story has evolved. That's why every resurfaced clip seems to restart the same debate all over again. Supporters say it's unfair to judge someone based on old photos or a different stage of life, especially if their beliefs have genuinely changed. Critics argue that public figures who build their brand around personal values should be prepared to answer questions about their past. As a result, every new interview, old clip, or viral post quickly becomes another piece of a conversation that doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. At the end of the day, this story has become much bigger than one old photo, one interview, or one viral clip. It's turned into a wider debate about public image, personal growth, and whether people believe someone's past and present line up. Some believe Erika has genuinely changed over the years, while others think there are still unanswered questions. Whatever side people take, one thing is clear. The conversation isn't fading anytime soon, and every new detail keeps bringing it back into the spotlight. Now it's your turn. What do you think about everything that's come out? Do you think this is simply the story of someone whose life and beliefs changed over time? Or do you think the critics have raised fair questions? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because we'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends so you don't miss any future updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.